I'm Chinmay Sheknadas and I'm going to be uploading now the details regarding optional part, and my optional was geography and history. So now I'll be uploading about geography paper 1. So for that, first of all, I'm telling you all the book list. You can follow Spectrum. Spectrum, more or less, it covers everything. Like you can show you, this is the big one. You can, if small one is available, it's good. This is the Spectrum Geography. And for Geography of Odisha, GC Ray, Kitab Mahal publication. Now if you see the syllabus of paper 1, always go through the syllabus. That is my first advice to you all. So if you see the syllabus of geography paper 1, the section A deals with physical geography, and when you see the questions, first part is mapping. So it has been given, write in 10 words. So max to max you can write 2 lines, or if at all 3 lines about it, but I said you can restrict it to 2 lines. So when you are writing 2 or 3 lines about a certain place, so first what you will write, where is the location? Since it is a geography question, they're looking for your geographical part a tad bit more than the general part. So first you will write the location of the place, where it is exactly located, any locational significance or any important geographical significance is there, like Mount Stromboli for volcanoes. So like that, any geographical importance you can find out, and apart from that, any other significance, then you can write 1 line about it. So that is how you are going to prepare. So the mapping part, what you do, you start with the general parts, like what are the basins found all over the world, what are the lakes found all over the world, what are the mountains found all over the world, what are the volcanic peaks found all over the world. So likewise you can practice the mapping part. So for mapping, lots of books are available on Amazon, so anyone you can pick up, but I'm saying you have to prepare it like this, like what are the bays, what are the gulfs, what are the river basins, what are the seas, oceans, everything, like one topic you have to prepare. And as I said, first, how what you will write, first write about the location, where is it located. It's very important in the first part of the question where the particular place is located. The second part you will write about any geographical importance. Rather than writing about other significance, geographical importance need to be the second point. Then your third point may be any other significance. If there is no geographical significance, then you can go for any other significance. But you have to search for geographical significance and write about it. This is your mapping part. Since that is compulsory, so you have to attempt it. So practice as many as you can. Next comes your other questions, like 3 questions are there. So there is also, you can select from it, but still then if you see the question pattern, like they pick up from the basic topics that has been given in the syllabus, like in under section A, physical geography, geomorphology, climatology, oceanography, biogeography, environmental geography. So these are the basic parts upon which questions are framed. So if you compare the questions of previous 3 years, you will get an idea that either they are asking certain general questions which is being repeated maybe year to year, or they are touching upon the topics which has not been asked. Like if you see earlier questions, Davis and Penck theory, that has been asked regularly. So what you can judge from it, that any theories is given, like in paper 1 section A, especially in physical geography, mostly your theory based is Davis and Penck theory and your Conway and Köppen and Thornwight's classification of world climate. So these two theories, prepare it thoroughly for section A. Next, if you compare the questions, like in geomorphology, they have not yet asked about origin of earth and the theories related to it, and the physical condition of earth's interior. Isostasy, they have not yet asked. Volcanism, they have not yet asked. So pick out such topics from the previous year questions that is available on its website. Now in climatology, they have asked about Köppen and Thornwight's classification, that they can repeat. But others, like heat budget of the earth, it's also an important question. So that has not been asked. So prepare that. Monsoons, they can or they may not, because it is sometimes asked in GS paper also in geography. So that you see. Temperature and pressure belts, also not asked. So you prepare about that also. Then in oceanography, more or less every topic they have touched, like bottom topography, temperature and salinity. They have touched all of these topics, but what is left is coral reefs and certain marine resources. So they can combine it and they can ask, or separately they can ask. In biogeography, one important topic they haven't asked this all years is about soil, genesis, its classification and distribution, soil erosion, conservation. So they have not asked about this. Apart from that, forestry topic, social forestry, agroforestry, they have not asked. So prepare that, then later on prepare the other topics, okay? Because this all has not been asked, and there is a immense amount of chance that they can be asked. Then in environmental geography, they have covered more or less everything. Only one topic that has not been covered in this 3 years question paper is energy flow and biogeochemical cycles. So they can ask that. So when you are attempting physical geography, you can see each question is of 60 marks. So naturally people get confused as to how we can write 60 marks. So when you are seeing the marks, 60 means 6 into 10. That means you have to write 600 words. So see in one line how much words you are writing and how many lines are there in that paper. Just one paper you can calculate, you can get an idea. So if you are writing on an average like 6 words on one line, so you have to attempt around 15 lines for 100 words. Okay, 15 to 16 lines for 100 words. So see how many words in general. It can go up to 7 also, 8 also. But in general, you may be writing 5 to 6 words in one line. And calculate the first page, how many lines are there. So you can roughly get an idea that 15 lines may be 3/4 of the page. Or if you're like writing less, like 5 words, it may be 1 page or whatever, according to your writing abilities. So what you do, you accordingly decide how much comes under your 100 words, how many lines come under it. Okay, so after you decide that, in 60 marks you have to cover at least 600 words. So accordingly the pages you can decide. Maximum, I guess, 5 pages it will go. So you can dedicate 1 page to your diagram. So in that way, if you don't even have content that much, you can also draw the diagram and you can get marks for it, because every physical geography question has a diagram. So you concentrate on that diagram part. Okay, then about how to attempt the questions. There may be different parts, and if there are no different parts, suppose like in 2016 it came explain the cycle of erosion, like there's no other questions attached to it. So what you will do, what is erosion? Start from the background, because this is a 60 marks question. It is not advisable for UPSC exam, but for OPSC I'm saying, since it's a 60 mark question, you have to start from the background. What is erosion? What is cycle of erosion? Then you come to Davis and Penck theory. Then you evaluate it. Then you criticize it. Then you give the conclusion. So many parts are involved. You have to go back to the erosion part. You have to start writing the background. But if there are 3-4 questions attached, you are already getting the content of it. So likewise, you plan your answers. So for 60 marks, I may suggest 5 pages at least. So that I may suggest, because it can go to 6 page also. And you can keep 1 page for diagram, because that is very much needed and it will help you write less and score more also. So that is what I can tell about section A. And section B, as you can see, first certain questions are there. Which is given right in 200 words. So 200 words, as you can calculate once that how much comes under your 100 words. So if it is coming in 1 page or 3/4 of a page, so likewise 200 words means 1 page and a certain more amount. So here mostly they ask theories, and they ask theories from your section B part, which deals with human geography. So human geography theories are very much important, even if they have been asked. So what are the theories? Like in economic geography, there is von Thun theory of agricultural location, there is Weber theory, and there is Hoover, Loss and Smith about the locational theories. As you can see, in previous year questions, von Thun theory, Weber theory has been asked, but Hoover, Loss and Smith has not yet been asked. So you have to practice that first, but all theories you will practice, but concentrate more on Hoover, Loss and Smith. Okay. Then comes your other theories like crystallus CPT theory, central place theory. So that has been asked and it may be asked again. So, and again in regional planning, the theory is Rostov model of stages of growth. It has not yet been asked much. So you have to prepare that. So any of these theories can come in your 200 words marks the question in section B. So here if you also draw the diagram, you can reduce your word limit. You can write just the importance of the theory, the objective of the theory and your diagram. So the answer will be complete, and also you don't have to write much and you waste your time over there. So next comes to your questions in human geography. In human geography section B part of paper 1, what is asked depends on the basic part, like I said in section A, like perspectives in human geography, economic geography, population geography, settlement geography, regional planning. They ask one or more of the topic in under each section. Okay. So like in perspectives in human geography, they have asked about region, they have asked 2 times. They have asked about quantitative revolution and stuff, but they have not asked about areal differentiation, dichotomy and dualism. So concentrate on that, because they are very much loving this kind of terms like areal differentiation, dichotomy and dualism, and they are asking one out of these all things. And it's been continuous since 3 years, so it can be repeated. So concentrate on this, and rest all cultural reasons has been asked. So other topics go through, but concentrate on this too. Next comes your economic geography. The theories part is important. After the theories part, the world resources, their distribution, that you can prepare. Okay, but it is not so important because it has already been asked, but you can prepare that. Next comes your population geography. In population geography, migration topic has not yet been asked. So migration can come, and other things can be related to it, and other topics you can go through like races of mankind has also not been asked. Next comes your settlement geography. They have asked all the theories, they have asked concept and this. Only one certain thing is left regarding urbanization, like sphere of urban influence, rural urban fringe, satellite towns. They have not asked these questions. So they can culminate all this in one question and ask, or they can separately ask it in one question. Next comes your regional planning. Regional planning, they have asked reason, they have asked types of reason, regionalization, and one theory I told you, Rostov models of stages of growth, you have to prepare. Regional imbalances has not been asked, so concentrate on that. So again I will conclude it. In your section B part of paper 1 geography, go through the basics, which are the basic topics like perspectives in human geography, economic geography, population geography, settlement geography, regional planning. Under perspectives in human geography, till now areal differentiation, dichotomy and dualism has not been asked, so concentrate on it. Next, economic geography, the theories, concentrate on it. Then population geography, your migration concept and your races of mankind, concentrate on it. Settlement geography, urbanization part like sphere of urban influence, rural fringe, urban fringe, satellite town, concentrate on it. Regional planning, Rostov model of growth, first you concentrate, then go for your regional imbalances. Rest all topics also go through, because this I cannot predict that it won't come, but prepare these topics, then go to those topics, but prepare each and every topic present in the syllabus of paper 1 geography, because each and every topic is important and they can very well repeat it. Another I will tell you, chronicle book comes, in that previous year questions are given for geography optional. So try to go through UPSC previous year questions of chronicle, because in chronicle they give you questions with answers, so you don't have to search your answers. So go through the previous year questions of UPSC of geography optional for paper 1. Okay, so go through those questions, practice it first, then look into the previous year questions of OPSC, see which topics are left missing. I have told you certain, but there can be many also, so go through that. Okay, and as I said, concentrate on the important topics and also go through each and every topic. Do not leave a certain topic. Okay, I will tell about geography of Odisha in my next video, since it is concerned with your paper 2, and now I am discussing all about paper 1. And as I said, for mapping, please give your location of that place first, the geographical importance of that place, and then any other significance. Okay, and prepare like lakes, river basins, bays, gulfs, like that you prepare your world map. And your 60 marks question, as I said, at least 5 pages it may go, but you can dedicate 1 page to your diagrams, because diagram is very much important in 60 marks. Even if you don't do diagram in 200 marks, it may be okay, but in 60 marks you have to do diagram anyhow. And this one, like I am saying, suppose in 60 marks question it comes about deforestation once it was asked. So how can you do a diagram about it? You can do a flow chart. But in 60 marks, do anything related to flow chart, diagrams, you have to do it. Then in your 200 marks question, diagram if you do, that is a plus point for you, because it's geography. Geography means you have to have a diagram for it. So if you are representing in a flow chart, that is also well and good, because certain questions like problems of urbanization, there other diagrams can't come. So you have to do a flow chart. So prepare accordingly. Okay. So that is my advice for paper 1. I have told you the book list like spectrum is more than enough. NCRTs of 11th and 12th, which is available, that is the basic, and there also many information is given, so that you can very well incorporate in your answers. Okay, so this is about paper 1. Next I will be talking about geography paper 2. Okay, thank you.